Gentlemen are seated. We'll get to them in a bit. But yesterday, the NDC outdoored his running mate, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman. The MPP doesn't have a running mate. So does the Afrafranto. The Afrafranto now has even brought on more political parties. So now, the search, I don't know if it's going to be a very, very tough one. Because all the partners in the alliance, they also come to the table with their own choices of who must be running mate. Let's see, early days here. Let's see how it goes. GRASML deal still looming. President has given his directive, but to what end? There's also ECG staff versus the Ashanti Regional Minister. You remember that Simon Osei-Mensah faced off with Engineer Riafe in the Ashanti region. He was going to do his legitimate duty. In fact, he had done his legitimate duty within the confines of the National Task Force from Accra. The regional minister asked him to reconnect power to the KTU, that's it. And he says no. Okay, I'll show you something small. Calls the Zongo police. The next moment, the Zongo police calls Engineer Riafe, asked him to report. He said, well, I can't report now, I'll report tomorrow. So that's fine. He goes there and says, well, boss, you're under arrest, write your statement. So presently, he is under investigation. How much did the KTU owe? 600,000. 600,000 Ghana cedis worth of electricity consumed. The minister says, no, give them back their power. The ECG senior staff say, well, if you touch one, you touch all of us because it's not good. He has committed no crime, no atrocity. He's just doing his work. Anyway, Boku is also boiling. As I'm sure you know that the military and the prison officers have faced off. Yesterday, gunshots, blood was oozing here and there. The police had to step in. I'm sure that there's a high-powered delegation of the Ghana Prison Service going to Boku this morning. We'll keep you posted as we travel along the show. And this is Sunrise here on 3FM 92.7. Dr. Ramzi Inusah is a communications team member of the Movement for Change, aka Afrafranto, the Butterfly Movement, the Butterfant Movement. And then Nabila A. Basiru, the Director of Operations Northern Regional Youth Wing of the MPP. Both gentlemen I haven't seen in a very, 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 very long time. Gentlemen, good morning. How are we doing?
Good morning.
Great. Good to have you. Doc and Nabila, good to have you.
Thank you.
Great. Let's begin from Nabila. And this is your arch rival, the NDC. Yesterday, they outdoored Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman. She threw jabs. A lot of jabs. And you can say comfortably that the jabs, most of them were directed at your party and functionaries of your party. In fact, the latest one I played, what do you say?
Let me say good morning to you and then to your team here, and then good morning to my brother here. I think what happened yesterday is one of the political activities of every political party, is to have a running mate as prescribed by the 1992 Constitution. So we, the Elephant Fraternity, are not surprised that the NDC took to UPSA to outdoor their running mate. But what I can say here emphatically is that we, the MPP, are not perturbed. We are not worried at all about what happens yesterday. What she said to us is not new. It's part of their propaganda they've been saying all along. They've been in this country not today. We've heard her, we've heard the NDC communicators, we've heard their flag bearer, and I can tell you, Johnny, we are focused on breaking the eight with Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. We are breaking the eight, and I repeat, we are breaking the eight with Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
She talks about corruption. She talks about disrespect. She talks about sheer greed and dishonesty. She talks about lacking quality but pretending to have the best of quality. She talks about ethnocentrism taking center stage, tribalism. She talks about, a salad of issues, and all of it targeted, at your party. How do you say you are focused so you not respond to any of these?
Well, we are very focused. We are not serving the NDC as a political party. We are serving Ghanaians. And in fact, she should have been very open and define the type of corruption, nepotism, and whatever that she was speaking about. As I mentioned earlier, we are not disturbed about what she said yesterday. She's selling her party. She's trying to market herself, market the party that is not attractive to Ghanaians anymore. So she has the liberty to speak whatever she wants, because she's poised of political power. So whatever she would do to dent the reputation of the ruling party, she would do. But I can assure you that whatever she says, the corruption she mentioned, whatever she says, I can tell you, it has nothing to do with the MPP as a political party. We are very focused. We promise delivering better Ghana, or Ghana beyond aid to Ghanaians.
Right.
And that is why we are very focused, and we are focused in doing whatever we promise 2020 elections, and that is what is leading us to 2024 elections. So we are very confident that whatever that we are doing, Ghanaians are seeing, they are monitoring, and they know what we are doing. The sacrifices His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Bawumia government is doing. So that tells you that it is Ghanaian that is going to judge us, not Professor Nana Mensah that is going to judge the MPP or judge Ghanaians. So I am very convinced that we, the MPP fraternity, are working day in, day out, 24/7, bridging our gaps to win power in 2024 election. So we don't care whatever she's saying. She speaks to herself, she speaks to NDC members. And I can tell you there are nothing that we have to worry about. They have nothing to offer Ghanaians. We have seen the administration. We have seen the Mills Mahama administration. We have seen Mahama Emisata administration. And I can tell you, Ghanaians know NDC more than we know them.
One of the things that she touched on was the Dumso situation, which every Ghanaian indeed is complaining about. So she says that the level of dishonesty and disrespect has gotten to the heights that if officialdom says there's no Dumso, even if your lights go off and come back on, it means that there's no Dumso. And she says, how did we get here? It's one of the things that she mentioned. A leading member of your party, Nana Kumia, has said that if Dumso is not fixed, it will come back to haunt you at the 2024 elections, and you're breaking the 8th agenda. And you say you are not perturbed?
If you follow current happenings, the board chair of ECG spoke 2 days ago that there is a maintenance that is going on, and very soon we'll get out of this issue. So it is not Dumso, as said by the minister. If it is Dumso, we'll admit. But this is not Dumso. This is maintenance that is being carried out.
This is what?
Maintenance.
We're maintaining?
Yes.
And we're maintaining all across the country at once?
Sure. Because if things are not going well, we have to make sure that things are going well. So this is not a Dumso that they are calling for us to bring timetable. They want us to do ABC. No. We care for Ghanaians. We listen to Ghanaians. We know what is happening is not, Ghanaians are not happy about what is happening currently. But I can assure you that very soon the issue will be resolved and we'll back to normality.
And so, you are my brother from the north. You know that up north is NEDCO that handles things. So ECG doesn't have a total control of the entire country. NEDCO takes part of the north. You know that?
I know.
Great. So the catchment area for ECG is what we are talking about. And I'm saying that, how is ECG doing maintenance in Accra, doing maintenance in Eastern region, in Western region, in Western North, in Volta region, in the Ashanti region, in Bono region, Bono East, Ahafo region at the same time, where all the transformers have problem at the same time? How? Maybe you have to explain to us. Because we have also known ECG pretty much like you say you have known the NDC. And this is not how ECG operates. So how is it that all of a sudden everywhere needs maintenance at once?
It's not as you seems to put the issue. I just came from Northern region 2 days ago. I came from Northern Region 2 days ago. And I can tell you I stay in Northern Region for good 2 weeks without what you are saying. So
and that's what I'm explaining to you, that NEDCO is managing the north, right?
Yes.
Down south here, and all the regions I mentioned didn't include any single northern region. Not northeast, not Savannah, not the northern region, not upper east, not upper west. I didn't mention any of those.
Okay.
I mentioned from Bono East, Ahafo, Ashanti, Eastern Region, Western North, Western Region, Central Region, Greater Accra Region, and Volta Region, Oti Region. And I'm saying that how is it that in these regions, all of a sudden we have maintenance going on all across at once?
It's not as you see it to be. And I can tell you that this maintenance you are keep on mentioning, I can tell you that in every point in life, you have to see to it that whatever that you are doing, keep upgrading. So they are doing upgrading of their systems, and it is a decision by ECG, VRA, and NEDCO. So if they are doing it in Northern Region, Upper East, Bono Region, the regions that you have mentioned, they want to make sure that things are put in the right way for Ghanaians to, consumers to get the best out of whatever they are paying for. So that is what they are doing. Example is here. At point in time, you do maintenance. You make sure that your equipments are well maintained.
They don't maintain for 5 months, 6 months.
But Johnny, this is Ghana. This is not only Accra. So the maintenance is continuous. So they are doing it for consumers. They want to make sure that the right things are being done so that this issue of power interruption will be stopped and once for all.
I hear you. I'll bring in Doc, but first listen to Prof.
And I've experienced the to and fro of politics in Ghana. But never have we experienced the levels of greed, unbridled arrogance, unrestrained impunity, sheer dishonesty, barefaced hypocrisy, incompassion, as displayed by this incumbent government over the past 6 years and more. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the task ahead is formidable, much more than it was 4 years ago. When people ask me, why are you doing this? Let me explain. I remain inspired by the fact that as a people, we have faced terrible situations before. Check our history. Please don't begin with the Fourth Republic or the struggle for independence, although these are also important milestones. Go hundreds of years back. In those hard times, our forefathers and our foremothers too did not throw up their arms in despair. They fought back. They resisted. They sacrificed. They persevered. They brought back hope when there was none. They picked up the pieces of a broken people and carefully and strategically sewed them back. And they left for us a legacy of selflessness, of true patriotism and pride. It is our responsibility today to leave something better for the next generations. Giving up is not an option. We must all soldier on.
That's Professor Nana Jeno Pokwajiman. Osman Ayariga has joined us. He's from the NDC. Doc, let's begin this conversation with you. You heard Prof yesterday. You also don't have a running mate as we speak. But what she said, how does that sound to you?
First and foremost, I would like to say a very good morning to your cherished viewers and listeners across the country.
Right.
And I would like to also extend my greetings to the founder and the leader of the Movement for Change, Honorable Alan Kojo Tramantin, and also my co-panelists here, Osman and my brother from the Dying Elephant. John.
Yes, my brother.
Let me start by saying that the Ghanaian society will never, and ever, after seeing 32 years of both the MPP and the NDC take scripture lessons from a drinking bar. We had the speech of the NDC's flag bearer, which personally I admire her a lot, and not as a running mate, but as a person, as a human being, and as a citizen of this country, and what she has done for the, especially for UCC, as being the first female VC. So I admire her a lot in this regards. And I think that, John, you know that there's a popular Akan saying that one peanut or groundnut, one bad peanut
spoils the whole lot.
Spoils the whole lot. And unfortunately, she has been paired with somebody that has got, I would say, a credibility crisis. Somebody that the Ghanaian society rejected, but for the failure of this Akufo-Addo Bawumia administration has risen out of the dead. But again, we're not perturbed. We're determined. And we, members of the Movement for Change and our coalition, the Alliance for Revolutionary Change, represent the yearning change of so many Ghanaians in this country that are tired of the duopoly of the MPP and the NDC. And we're much more vigilant this time around of the political landscape. And we're educating the Ghanaian society more because they've been fooled for so many years, John. And I would like to also make a plea to all journalists not to despair in this quest to restore Ghana back to her golden days.
And who is going to do that?
The leader and the founder of the Movement for Change, Honorable Alan Kojo Tremantin. And John, let me tell you what.
Johnny.
Johnny, yeah, Johnny. Well,
Oh, now we're academic.
Johnny.
Lawyer to change.
Johnny, you know, if you want to make omelette, what do? You first break the egg.
Right.
If you want to plant something, right, if a seed wants to shoot up into a plant and then a tree, it first decay underground.
Right.
Honorable Alan Kojo Tremantin has broken away from a repugnant political polity that does not stand by its founding values. And that is why myself and other learned people in this society and the Ghanaians that are conscious and patriotic have rallied behind the Movement for Change to realize the change that they've always desired for in governance and in development.
There are some of your members who have gone back to the MPP. They say, well, they don't see the seriousness that you have. They don't think that you are competent enough to get the victory they are looking for. So they have gone back. They said they made a mistake.
John, you see, and this thing is also tagged to some of you journalists.
Why do you say that? Did we force them to leave?
Not they leaving. Not they leaving. I want you to understand something. That money, the issue of moneycracy in our political landscape is becoming a problem. And that is why today we are faced with consistent failed leadership in this country. People who join a particular political polity join not because they have a nexus with their ideals and the philosophy of the organization, but because they want to make money out of it. Today we live in a country where politics is making more money than even ordinary businesses. Politics is the money-making machine, the number one money-making machine in this country.
You didn't say these things when they moved and joined you to go and form the Movement for Change.
But
why are you now saying it when they said, oh, well, let them say we're going back where we came from?
Johnny, It's as a result of these factors. And you see, you join the movement for change on the basis of volunteerism. And that is what leadership is about. And that is what politics should be. Not because I want to get some bread and butter. No. And so if these people have left, I mean, look at how many people left?
6,000.
6,000. Are you serious?
That's what they say. What do you know?
I know of only 11 people. And even out of the 11, one of them was part of the youth team, right? Operations. That's Alfred Ababil. Right. And, pardon?
Nim. Alfred Ababil Nim.
Yes. Popularly known as Adenta Kumi. Right. He was part of the youth team, operations team of the youth team. And I can say that some of these people come in the form of what? Sycophants. Yes. Oh, yes.
Because they left you?
Not because they left us. Because they came with their own personal agenda and personal interest.
Which is?
Which is to make money.
From where?
From us. From us. That is what is happening.
So they left because you were not giving them the money?
Not because also we're not giving them the money, but because their conscience, they sold their conscience, right, to the MPP. And currently, if you can dig down, you realize that the gentleman is working now with Patricia Piaget in her office. He has been offered a job to do there.
I see.
You understand?
Until recently, he didn't have a job?
No, I don't know. He didn't.
He said he's a businessman.
Well.
You have not known him to be a businessman. He sat in front of me. He sat where you are sitting.
Yes.
He sat there on Tuesday.
Yes. Well, I don't know of that. I do not really know of that. But this is the truth.
But when he was part of your movement, he was okay. Everything was okay. You didn't make these statements.
But because he didn't show those tendencies until it reflected in his actions.
I see.
Yes.
You don't have a running mate. The NDC has one. The MPP doesn't have a running mate either. So technically, the NDC is ahead of both of you. What do you think of the NDC's running mate? Politically speaking.
Politically speaking, I think that Professor J. Nana Opoko Ajimai will not be able to change anything in this country.
Why do you say that?
I say that because she is going against all odds, right? Against a system that is in place in the NDC, that has been the system that the NDC has run for so long that would not give people the chance to implement their visions, especially people of truth and substance, which are called Professor Nana Ajiman of such. And I can tell you that I see her as a woman of substance. Johnny, right? I see her as a woman of substance. In all regards, I have to be honest here. I personally admire her, but unfortunately, she's found herself in the wrong party for so many years. Unfortunately.
3FM 92.7.
I hear you. Hassan, I say Hassan. Osman, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, Johnny. How have you been? It's been a while.
Yes, I have been good. Welcome.
Oh, we're doing well.
Great.
First and foremost, let me say good morning to you. Good morning to my brother Doc. Good morning to my brother from the Northern Region Youth Wing. I would want to apologize for coming in late. Yesterday was a very hectic day. We had to outdoor our running mate, Professor Nana Jane Opoko Ajimai, and it was a beautiful event.
The MPP was here early, same as the Afrafronto. You are late. You want power. You are late.
Yes, I mean it's I don't.
Is that how you are going to run the country?
The main race is on 7th.
Is that how you are going to run the country?
No, but as it starts now, we were the first to pick our flag bearer.
Yes, but
and we are the first to pick our running mates.
But when we wanted to see you, you came late.
We were the first to pick our running mates. So Yes, I mean, you're talking about me as a person. Yes, that's true. I came.
No, you
quite
represent the party.
Yes, I represent the party. I came in late. I apologize for that. And I think it was due to circumstances beyond my control.
I hear you.
Yes, there
Okay.
are instances where we get there earlier and they don't even show up. I've been to programs where the NPP panelists never even showed up. So, I mean, my coming in late for the first time shouldn't be used to judge the entire party, Johnny.
I hear you.
Sacrifice. It is to embrace everyone in building a Ghana that functions again. It is to work towards a Ghana where citizens have confidence and hope and are determined to regain their independence of thought and of agenda. We must work towards a Ghana that at the very least can feed itself. We know we can. We must work towards a Ghana where the law truly works, where there is shared prosperity, where democracy has not become a fluke, where people are not abused, and where the basic necessities of life are not denied the majority. From deep despair, the election ahead and winning it for our party is about hard work and abiding sacrifice. It is to embrace everyone in building a Ghana that functions again. It is to work towards a Ghana where citizens have confidence and hope and are determined to regain their independence of thought and of agenda. We must work towards a Ghana that at the very least can feed itself. The purpose is the opportunity to heal our country again. It is about the opportunity to pull Ghana back from the precipice of destruction, of normalizing corruption, of incomprehensive greed, from deep despair. The election ahead and winning it for our party is about hard work and abiding sacrifice. It is to embrace everyone in building a Ghana that functions again. It is to work towards a Ghana where citizens have confidence and hope and are determined to regain their independence of thought and of agenda.
Professor Nana Jane Opokwajiman there yesterday at the UPSA. Osman,
Johnny,
who were these jabs directed at?
well, even
That I will
before,
not be the
I
driver's
don't know why people this morning are calling them jabs. These are truths. These are gospel truths, and these are people's observations. What Professor Nana Jane just did yesterday was a true reflection of what people go through and what people feel. She turned out to be the voice of the voiceless, speaking for the ordinary Ghanaian who is going through the pain, the suffering, and amidst that is undergoing through high levels of disrespect and arrogance from all government officials being led by Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. But before I even go into the substance of the speech, I just want to congratulate Professor Nana Jane for putting up such a spectacular speech and putting together the ability to even deliver it. Putting the speech together is one thing, delivering it to its maximum levels is also epic. It's also another thing. I want to congratulate and of course the organizers of the program and to all the party faithfuls all over the country. People came all the way from Upper East, people came all the way from Boko, people came all the way from Cape Coast to every corner of this country to celebrate with Professor Nana Jane. Because in her, they see a mother, in her, they see a woman of substance, a woman of integrity. And if you actually listen to the General Secretary, he did say that he knows for sure that Professor Nana Jane will retain the integrity of the office of the Vice President. Because we have lost that integrity and that honesty. Now, I listened to the speech. I have seen a few excerpts of what people have picked out of the speech. And I asked myself, which part of the speech is not true? 100% of the speech is what we are all going through. 100% is what we are experiencing. And what we only expect, or what we expected from the government, was for the government to, at this juncture, to be more remorseful and to understand the plight, the hue and the cry of the ordinary Ghanaian. But what do we see? Consistent and continuous arrogance. And above all, what actually baffles us is the dishonesty and the lies that the office of the vice president has been reduced to. Every time the vice president is given the opportunity to speak to Ghanaians, he's either making a joke out of it or he's telling us things that are not true.
You said they are not perturbed. They will break the 8 by hook or crook.
Well, that is another joke, because if they are following events and things that are happening in this country, I am not even looking at opinion polls, but we are Ghanaians and we live in it and we understand. I can understand that the MPP have been decoupled, or they are currently disengaged with the realities of time. What are we talking about? We're talking about graduate unemployment at its all-time high. We are currently buying fuel at prices we have never ever bought before in the history of this country. But under this government, we are buying fuel at a point in time in this country. We're buying fuel for almost 18 cedis. And I believe we are even hitting the 18 cedi mark per liter in this same country, Ghana. Never ever has it happened under any NDC government. And you think you are breaking the 8? How are you breaking the 8? Our cedi has depreciated at an all-time low. Businesses cannot thrive. And amidst that all, there is Dumso. And you come and tell us you are breaking the 8. How are you breaking the 8?
Yes, in this morning
I heard him put words together saying that was maintenance localized. Yes. I mean, please.
Do you have your doubts?
The earlier you tell the and that is even the disrespect of it. And that is what Prof was talking about. It's about you being honest with the people and stop lying to the people. Ghanaians, excuse me to say, we are not stupid. We are not dumb. We understand what it means for us to go through power outages. We understand what it means for you to tell us there's maintenance or due to some circumstances beyond your control, there are some outages. In this same country, we've seen maybe times where a substation is being maintenance. There's maintenance at a substation. And we've seen instances where maybe there's some fire at a substation. Usually we see it and we know, and there are announcements that have been made for us to understand that, well, this substation is undergoing this maintenance, and for that reason, this particular area or this locality is going to experience some, outages. But where it is the whole country and you are refusing to announce a timetable, don't forget, even their own members of parliament at a point in time were telling them that, come on, the earlier you announce a timetable for Ghanaians to be able to plan, the earlier the better.
NPP insists that your energy
have
minister,
no moral right
to come and tell them
they have no moral right to even tell us we have no moral right.
They are telling you that you have no moral rights because you supervised Dumso, and Professor Stephen Ade says the Dumso that we have now is not as worse as what we experienced then, which you supervised. They say if you supervise that and you're able to tolerate that, you should keep quiet about what's happening.
Johnny, I'll even come to that. And for their energy minister to come out and tell us that as Ghanaians, and he said it arrogantly, that we should go and draw our own timetable. These are the things Prof is talking about. The arrogance of public officials. The greed of public officials. We are undergoing Dumso. As energy minister, you are responsible for keeping our lights on. You are responsible for keeping our lights on. Our lights are not on. Ghanaians are asking us that give us a timetable so we can plan our lives according to your own inefficiency and your own incompetence. And you turn around and tell us that we should go and draw our own timetable. That is the highest level of arrogance and insult to an ordinary Ghanaian. And to me, who has gone out there to buy credit for my electricity that I've transacted with the ECG as a contract, and I cannot be given power. That is an insult. 2, I hear the MP people were trying to make a comparison that Ghanaians underwent through harsher conditions under the NDC, so we don't have the moral rights to complain. If the MPP had increased the megawatts of energy supply or generation in this country, wouldn't have gone through the Dumso in 2013, 2014, thereabouts. If they had just increased it by even 1,000 or 1,200 megawatts, wouldn't have gone through Dumso. In our era, in 2014, Dumso was as a result of generation capacity, and you know that. At the time, we're just doing a little over 2,000 megawatts.
3FM.
And under John Mahama, through the IPPs, we're able to increase to about 5,000 megawatts. That's why today they can move America from Accra to Kumasi at a tune of $30-something million when they were all against it. We can talk about all the other power generations. Under us, we have increased generation from about 2,800 megawatts to 5,000 megawatts.
Hamza said you are both the same. So
no, for
Ghanaians should stop listening
I'll come to Hamza. We are not the same.
Ramzi
and the MPP are the same because he's an offshoot of the MPP. They used to be in the MPP. So when I'm talking, I want to lump them. Afra Franto and the MPP are one.
But he says that they moved away from. They said they moved away from the party.
He was part of the mess.
Well,
I'm coming.
please.
Alan has always been part of the mess of the MPP. So for you to wait at this 11th hour, yes, but you're part of the MPP. You're a founding member of the MPP. From the year 2000 to 2008, you've been part of the MPP. From 2017 to 2000 to 2020. When did he leave? 2023, right?
Yeah.
2023.
Yeah.
You've been part of the MPP. You've played very crucial roles in the MPP. Even in this administration, you were the minister. Hamza, please, Ramzi, let me speak. You were the minister for trade, for crying out loud. You were the minister of trade for 7 years. What did you do? What couldn't you do? Come out and tell us.
He will tell about factories that he supervised and
how
built.
many factories did they build? They told us we were going to build one district, one factory. In my district, there's no factory. They said he was going to supervise the factories. In my district, there's no factory.
Do you have the raw materials in your district? They promised us
when they were making their promise. Didn't they know that factories needed raw materials? Didn't they know that factories needed to be situated at very vantage locations? No, but they just made a sweeping promise because they needed to win an election. So if you supervise over the construction and establishment of factories and you have failed, and today the government is sinking, even Baumia is not associating himself with the mess of the MPP. Why do you think Alan will want to associate himself with the mess? He's just trying to be tactical by coming out of the MPP, trying to exclude himself. Everyone is trying to exclude themselves from the mess of the current MPP, being led by Akufo-Addo and Baumia as the the runman today, the flag bearer.
Ghanaians will take a John and Jane ticket serious?
Absolutely, yes. Because, you see, the track record of John and Jane is impeccable and unmatched. We have seen it before. But for the lies and the promises, the unbelievable promises and unachievable promises, the mouth-watering, the sweet promises coming from the MPP and Baumia, that made Ghanaians believe that they could do. And that's why they voted out the NDC. But today, Ghanaians have regretted. Trust me, even just the education ministry, what Professor Nana Jane did in 4 years as the education minister, 2 men couldn't do in 8 years. Napo and Educhum. What Professor Nana did just in 4 years at the education ministry. There are 2 gentlemen today
what did she do which they couldn't do? They are doing STEM, they are doing smart classrooms, they are doing V-blocks.
They promised us 350 SHS. How many have they?
They say it was not a manifesto promise.
Oh, how? So now, how? That was a promise that was made. That was a promise that was made. They promised us 350 SHS. They haven't built any. Today, they tell us, oh, they've built 10 STEM schools. Tomorrow, the minister will come and tell us they've built 7. The next day, they'll come and tell us 8. So be as it may, let's even give them 10.
So the dormitory expansions, dining hall expansions, you don't see those ones.
Under Professor Nana Jane.
Additional classrooms.
Under Professor Nana Jane. Close to 3,000 schools under trees were eradicated. Under Professor Nana Jane, the shift system was eradicated. Under Professor Nana Jane, we built over 125 E-blocks. This is 1 woman in 4 years that 2 men in 8 years couldn't do. Educhum and Napo put together.
So,
and today, they want us to believe.
You have to be wrapping up for me, but I'll ask you a question. I noticed that Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman is not going to be the head of the economic management team. She's going to be in charge of education, health, and gender, children, and social protection issues. Not the the traditional role that we have always known the vice president to have played as the head of the economic management team. Why is that? Why are you moving away from that?
Yes, we are bringing Professor Nana Jane as a result of her expertise in certain fields. We all know Professor Nana Jane to have been or is an educationist since time immemorial, being the Vice Chancellor of UCC, having been a woman who has been at the Education Ministry and the things she's done at the Education Ministry. We believe that the office of the Vice President is an office that is being assigned duties by the President. But I mean, times pass, or every president just usually they give the Vice President the economic management team, and most of the time I think they started adding the chairman of the police council.
Right.
That's always been the case.
It's in the constitution,
yes,
actually.
It's in the constitution, yes.
Prisons council as
Prisons council as well. But for you being the chairman of the economic management team, is a role that has been assigned by the president. So it is just proper for the president to know where and how to assign his vice president, so that we do not have the Bawumia-like kind of vice president who believes that he could solve all our economic problems, and just for him now to be running from any economic debate and not being able to answer the questions that he himself even asked. How many questions did he ask at the time? Did he say 70 or 170? 170. Today, his own questions. Bawumia cannot answer his own questions he asked. The 170 questions he asked. He should come and answer them himself. How can you ask questions that you yourself cannot answer them now? So this is the kind of mess we find ourselves in with Bawumia. So, of course, we are looking at the competence that the professor is bringing on board, and we know that she would be better placed to take care of certain areas of the economy. So that is a decision that has been taken by the flag bearer who was appointed.
Okay. Basiru, you've been listening to our brother. First, let's begin from the head of the economic management team conversation. Now, Prof is going to be in charge of education, health, gender, children, and social protection. Away from economic management, what do you say?
Johnny, you might refer to me as Nabila.
Okay, right.
Nabila is the name.
Okay.
In fact,
Basiru is also your name, is it not?
In fact, it's laughable listening to Ayariga. If you are comparing Mahama administration with that of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and Bawumia-led administration, Ayariga, let's ask ourselves, Professor Jenana Opoku, as a minister of education, tell me, you say you built 125 E-block. At where? Where did you build it? Is it in heaven or in Europe? Because we are all here in Ghana. Ayariga, I'm asking you.
Go ahead, don't engage him.
You see,
if he starts interjecting, you will cry.
This is a fallacy. This is a fallacy and propaganda of the NDC to take away the achievements of MPP. A propaganda they've been executing for 20 to 30 years in this country. I am highly disappointed in Ayariga, a young guy like him, who is trying to preside over propaganda and lies. Ayariga, let's ask ourselves. We're all here in Ghana. When the Prof, your running mate, failed woefully as a minister of education, the arrogance, she was not going to listen to anybody. She drew her own policy. When teachers and students complain, she said, oh, she won't listen. This is the person you are now praising and singing a lot of praises. Let me tell you, there is a saying in my language that if you decorated a monkey, it's still a monkey. You cannot market something that is not marketable. Professor Jenana, you know her. When your own people rejected her second bid to become a running mate to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Today you are here praising singers. You want us to carry her in a palanquin for everyone.
They have said
everyone
that there's no corruption tag attached to her.
And who is corrupt?
Intact.
Who is corrupt here? Who is corrupt?
I don't know.
He keep on mentioning Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. And I can tell you, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is the clean politician that we have seen in our time.
There's a rice saga from the port. Somebody's rice that was taken.
And his name is mentioned.
Well, his letterhead was
Johnny,
used.
let's be honest. Let our listeners benefit from what we are doing here.
Yeah.
I am telling you, if you are comparing Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and John Dramani Mahama, you will know that the weight of Bawumia is far higher than John Dramani Mahama.
I'm saying you have not answered the rice
I'm
conversation.
coming, Johnny. I'm coming. I'll answer your questions.
Yes, please.
And if you want to compare Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia as a vice president and compare John Dramani Mahama as a vice president, Johnny, I can tell you that Ghanaians wouldn't even turn their back to look at Mahama.
Okay, now answer the rice
Mahama
question.
who has failed Ghanaians.
Okay.
Mahama who said he's a dead goat syndrome, who will not listen. Mahama who has silenced intellectuals under Mills administration and named them the wise men because he didn't want to work with them. Mahama who was put up for investigation by the late Mills. Today you want to compare him with Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Johnny, we are praying that God the Almighty Allah will give us more life and strength to see December 7th.
Okay, now,
what is going to... let me come.
Now
here.
answer my rice question.
I'm coming. I'll answer you. I'll answer you.
Yes, boss.
Let me attend to Ayariga and let him know that the corruption tag they are trying to put on the neck of Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is not anything that is going to work.
Okay, it won't
because
stick.
Ghanaians know Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. They know his credibility. And our love for him and his vision to develop Ghana is what is bothering the NDC and Ayariga sitting here.
You have spoken for 3 minutes. You have not answered my question.
Okay, you know what you are talking about.
I said there's a news item where it is confirmed by investigation that somebody's rice in containers was taken from the port using a letterhead from the office of the vice president. And that, the NDC says, puts a corruption tag on the vice president. 2, there's PDS, condition subsequent condition precedent, which was signed by Dr. Bawumia, which meeting was supervised by Dr. Bawumia, that MEDA arrangement and all of that. The PDS thing was pulled out because the government itself said there was corruption attached to it, and Anadu said he was misinformed. That's 2. So how do you say that the man is clean when just these 2 examples exist? That's what I want you to clear for us. Then we can
Johnny,
make progress.
you
Yes, sir.
mentioned rice. In my submission, you continue to mention rice, I can tell you, it's fallacy.
The rice is fallacy.
It's fallacy. It's not
a fallacy.
true. Yes.
Ayariga behaves.
It's not true.
Ayariga behaves.
It's not true. It's not true. You can allow him.
Behave,
You can allow him because that is what they are known for.
No. Go.
The NDC
Focus
are
on
known
me.
for
Focus on me.
propaganda.
Focus on me.
It's not true.
Focus on me.
And I sit here to tell you that it's not true. That is my answer to your question.
The rice.
It's not
that,
true.
That nobody's rice was
Whatever
taken.
that you said, it's not true.
That nobody's rice was
I
taken.
disagree with whatever that you say, Johnny.
Oh.
I'm coming back to Ayariga.
What about PDS? What about the PDS?
I said whatever that you said is not true.
The PDS is not
It's
true.
not true. It's not true.
I think
You
that you're
cannot
not.
al-
I think
you-
that you're not
Johnny,
being.
Johnny, let me come.
No. You're
Let me explain
not
to you.
being
Let me
fair.
explain
You're
to
not
you.
being fair to the facts. How was PDS cancelled? How was PDS? How was PDS?
I beg you, let me
Explain to
explain
me.
to you.
Yes.
Let me explain to you. You see, when they talk of corruption, and we are telling you that Bawumia is not part of any corruption, that is my argument I'm making here.
Okay, so let's go.
You
on
have
to,
your own view.
So let's
and
go.
you have your own say about what you think is good for you.
Okay.
But we are telling Ghanaians, and I'm telling you here, that the man, Dr. Bawumia, is not corrupt. And that is why we voted him as our flag bearer.
Okay.
And that is the reason why we are telling you that, and Ayariga, that he will break the aid for the MPP party to continue in governance. So we don't listen to fallacies. We don't listen to propaganda.
Okay.
We look at the visionary, vision, and
So let's go to the Daily Guide's website, 15th of February 2023. The headline says OSP Rice Saga, the inside story. The Vice President, and I'm choosing the Daily Guide for good reason. The Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, has distanced himself from a letter written in his name by James Kek Osei, a director of administration in his office, over a request for clearance of some 15 containers loaded with bags of rice from the Tema port. Per a letter from the Vice President's Secretariat signed by Augustine Blay, Secretary to the Vice President, cited by DGN Online, highlighted how Kek Osei attempted to secretly clear the rice by using the name of Dr. Bawumia. Kek Osei still works at the office of the Vice President, by the way. According to the letter, on April 27, 2022, Mr. Osei addressed an unauthorized letter to the Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority seeking assistance for the clearance of 15 containers of rice, among others. The letter stated that the Vice President needed the rice for Ramadan's festivities, which the Vice President office had described as false. However, the GRA did not comply with the request of Kek Osei, as GRA informed him that there is another claimant to the rice. Interestingly, upon receiving such a letter from the GRA, Kek Osei, acting on pressure, wrote another letter to withdraw his initial letter, asking the Commissioner to cancel any action taken based on his previous letter. The Vice President's attention was drawn to an invitation extended to Mr. Kek Osei by the Office of the Special Prosecutor somewhere in September 2022 in relation to the rice importation for the first time. And I could go on and on and on and on. So the admission and the letter is there. Office of the Vice President is there. The letter is there on the website now. The letter was indeed written.
Johnny.
15 containers of rice were targeted for Ramadan purposes. And you say whatever I say is false.
Johnny. You said the Vice President, what you read?
No.
Let me come.
Let's start from point one.
I'm coming.
Relax. Let's start from point one. Point one is that you said everything I said is false. It's a fallacy. Do you still stand by that claim?
Yes, sure. Because what you read, let me come.
So the letter,
you see,
the letter which we have here now.
What you read, someone wrote a letter,
right,
using the name of the Vice President
and the letterhead,
right. The Vice President distanced himself.
It doesn't.
Let me come.
It doesn't negate the fact that the letter was written.
Johnny, let our listeners and our viewers benefit from whatever we are doing here. I beg you.
So you answer the question. No.
Johnny, you are not making.
Basiru, you don't set the questions here.
Nabila,
I said the questions.
To me,
Nabila, you don't set the questions. I said the questions.
Okay.
You don't change the questions. I put this up to you. You said it is a fallacy. I still stand by the word fallacy. I have just read, unless the meaning of fallacy has a different meaning from what we all know. But this is the letter. The OSP also has an invitation. The GRA letter, everything is on this website. And I use Daily Guide's website for good reason. And I'm asking you, given the fact that the letters exist, do you still continue to say that the fact that somebody tried to use the Vice President name and the letterhead to take 15 containers of rice remains a fallacy?
Johnny, what I want you to understand, listening to what you've just said, you said someone tried. Let's look at the word you used. Someone tried. And per what you read, the Vice President distanced himself. I can tell you when you go to Facebook, I have Johnny Facebook page more than one, your real page. So the other pages, is it you that created
There's
the page?
no page. If
Fine.
Somebody tried it, I made the cybersecurity unit of the police pull
Let
it
me
down.
come. Here, what you read, the Vice President distanced himself. He's not part of it. He has no hands in it. Then you went on to say someone tried. So away from the word try.
Do you know the weight of what happened?
Look, Johnny, the issue I am telling you is this. Whatever you read here is still not true.
It's a fallacy.
It's not true. And it's not true today, it's not true tomorrow, and it's not true into the future. You cannot paint the image of the Vice President by tagging him corrupt.
It's Kek Osei who did that.
You cannot tag that name to the Vice President. And that is why I want you and the listeners and Ayariga and his propagandists to know that the man, Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, is not corrupt. It's a fact.
I hear you. Well, Doc.
Johnny.
So it's a fallacy.
Johnny.
You have listened to the NDC and the MPP, and you see how sharply they have taken their stance and drawn their lines. Will you still fit in?
Johnny, there's a saying that we all know that if you live in a glass house, you don't throw stones.
Right.
Both of these entities, that have rendered an incompetent form of governance to the good people of this country for over 3 decades now are throwing stones at each other in the glass house they live in. And we are not in that glass house. And so if they are throwing stones, let them be. You understand, Johnny? You made a statement here. You said that Nabila has to stick to the facts and be fair to the facts.
Right.
But Johnny, I was here when you allowed Ayariga to lie to the listeners and to the general public.
What was the nature of the lie?
How can you say that the NDC built 125 E-blocks when the handing over notes of the Minister for Education, Professor Nana Ajimine,
Jane
Ajimine, said that they completed 46 out of 124, which even upon fact-checking, it was actually 29 E-blocks that were completed by the 29 E-blocks that were completed by the NDC.
He's gotten 25.
Well, everybody has, but what I'm saying is a fact.
So that's where they're confused. So is it your fact, his fact, or
there is no fact that the NDC completed 125 E-blocks. This is something that I want to put across.
So is it your fact, Nabila's fact, or Osman's fact?
This is the fact of the matter.
Source from where?
From Afrafranto.
From even the NDC. This is a source from the NDC themselves. This is a source from the NDC because the handing over note of Professor Nana Ajimine reiterated and stipulated that it was actually 46 that they completed out of 124. So let's even accept the 46.
Right.
So where is my brother Osman getting this 125 from? So you need to fact check him, please. You see, look, we don't believe that politics is about lies. I am not that kind of politician that will come and sit down here and spew lies. If it is wrong, I will say it.
Right.
If it's right, I will say it.
Right.
And we move. You understand? So I hope that next time, John, you have to raise on a point of
that's why you
information.
Are here. That's why you are here.
No, but I've been listening to you for Johnny. I've been listening to you for quite some time now, and you are one of the journalists I admire the most. But then I can tell you in your face today that if you would go a step ahead to criticize even the NDC and the MPP for bringing us into such mess in this country for 32 years, then John, I'll carry you on a palanquin and celebrate.
It is the powerful you that you hold accountable. When the NDC was in power, I was with the MPP and we're holding the NDC accountable. Today the tables have turned and they say, I am against them. I am against them.
Johnny,
and you know the interesting thing, yesterday I played a video from 2018 where I eulogized the president, the Minister for Education then Napo, and Professor Pukwa Mankwa, who was the Director General of Ghana Education Service for free SHS. I've seen it circulating again. I said it in 2018. They didn't see it. In 2024, out of desperation, it is being shared. So I hate here and hate here.
Johnny, why am I saying
has been my track record.
Johnny, why am I saying this?
Johnny, can I
allow Ramzi,
I mean,
please. Ramzi, go ahead.
We can't.
Go ahead. Go.
No, I thought we were done. That's why
How am I done?
No, but
It's okay.
You spoke for about 10 minutes,
It's
and I
okay.
just started.
No,
and you tell you.
Ramzi, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Johnny,
But Johnny, I'll request
Johnny,
that
yes, you
lump them and give me the same time.
I should lump the two of them.
Yes, because you are from
they are not.
You cannot.
No, it's a request.
No, you
I'm
cannot.
requesting.
No.
How you know that? It's a request. It's up to him to accept or not.
Hold on. Your request has been declined.
No problem. Yes,
Thank
for
you.
him to decide. No,
Because this is NPP, this is Afrafranto, and this is
Afrafranto is an offshoot of NPP.
yes.
Oh, please.
Ramzi, go ahead.
Afrafranto is never an offshoot of the MPP. That's why I reiterated in my early submission that before you make omelette,
Right.
you need to break the egg.
That's right.
You understand? Before change starts with the man in the mirror. And the leader and the founder of the movement for change, Honorable Alan Kojo Tremantin, has changed. And so he can lead a revolution in this country.
Okay. Point
to change
made.
the status
Let's
quo.
make. You're making a
Now,
point.
I said that, Johnny, sometimes you have to lump the NDC and the MPP together.
I need to put them together.
To put them together.
Why?
John, we all have the facts. 32 years now. 32 good years of governance of both sides, and we are stuck with the same anachronistic problems that other countries have even gone beyond that. Today, developed countries and even developing countries in Asia are thinking of the fourth industrial revolution. We are still stuck with issues of electricity generation in today's 21st century. Johnny.
Serious.
In 1979, under the leadership of Deng Xiaoping, the Chinese opened up. They enacted egalitarian policies to enhance social and economic development. Within a span of 40 years, look at where they are. Pre-independence, the GDP of Ghana was way ahead of South Korea. Way ahead of that of South Korea. Today, let's look at the status of the economic dispensation of South Korea. No, but Johnny.
Do you want to have BP?
Johnny, we have to say it as it is. It's as a result of leadership. Look, and I continue to say that the NDC, being one of the biggest opposition, is not a serious political party. Johnny.
Yes, sir.
They are not serious.
Explain.
Look, you were kicked out of office for corruption, for incompetence and all that. You know the genesis of how this starts, right? Corruption in government starts. Let me tell you, and I'll expose it today clearly, and I'm sure people know it, but I have to re-echo it in the minds of Ghanaians. The NDC party executives, you monitor their elections, from their national executive to their constituency elections, and then to the parliamentary, and even the flag bearership. They pay delegates to hold positions, and we know that. And so what we are currently seeing in Ghana is not a democracy, but what we dub as a kakistocracy, where the less competent citizens rule this country because they have monies to pay their delegates and use political parties as vectors to get into office. And we've seen that clearly in the NDC. Your executives, your constituency executives paid money to delegates to get into position. Your parliamentary candidates paid bribes. We've seen it. Even your flag bearer paid delegates to get into
Before Alan
position.
Kojo Tremantin left the
How did
NPP.
he end the name Alan Cash?
But before Alan Kojo Tremantin left the NPP, in the just ended primaries that he lost, in which he said he said he was not being treated
He
fairly.
didn't lose any primaries. Let me correct you in this regards. In the NPP constitution, okay, if you have more than 5 candidates running for the flag bearership, you have what we call the super delegates conference.
He didn't wait for that to happen. He left before that.
He contested. He contested the super delegates conference.
And he was number 4?
He was number 3.
Number 3.
Not number 4.
Okay.
So he contested the super delegates.
But we're looking for number 1.
Oh, but it doesn't matter. You are picking the top 5, and then you go and meet the larger electoral college, right? But Alan left on principle that the party that he himself was a founding member did not uphold to the same founding values that he, Alan Kojo Tremantin, was part of.
And I'm
in
saying,
the exception.
and I'm saying that in his campaign, or during his campaign, the run up to that primary, he also gave people money.
Which monies?
Oh, come
he
on,
didn't.
please.
No, Johnny,
how did Alan end the name Alan Cash?
Johnny, Alan Cash.
Use the microphone for
On
me.
Legon campus, Alan was the one with the money bag. He and Afoko. How did he end the name Alan Cash? He was the man with the money. He was doling out cash.
You can't.
Today you come and sit and do a 360. You tell and want to lie. Come on, don't come and tell such cheap lies.
Allow.
In today's political dispensation in Ghana, when you mention Honorable Alan Kojo Tremantin, when you mention Alhaji Baumia, and you mention His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, right? No political entity, neither any political ideologue or any political bigot can propagate any credible corrupt or scandalous allegation against the personality.
He's doing a throwback on Legon campus.
Alan. Look, Johnny, you see, all these are propaganda.
But they are?
Oh, they are propaganda.
Another fallacy.
It's a propaganda. Johnny, Johnny, it's a propaganda. This man has been, look, let's.
He has never given anybody money.
Another fallacy.
Giving money in what sense? Giving money to get into a particular position, or giving money by request of people that need money, and he's just showing a kind gesture. Well, I mean, these are two different things. Johnny, don't you give money to people,
But
your friends that are in
the
need?
NPP and the NDC say, well, we are giving the people transport.
No, but
That's not
Johnny,
what you said.
Johnny, let me ask you. You yourself, in your capacity, don't you show kind gestures to
I am
people?
not a politician.
No, it doesn't matter. But as a human being.
Well, I'm not a politician.
No, as a human being, do you have to be a politician to give money
We
to
are
people?
talking about
show?
you politicians.
But Johnny, if today maybe I am in economic, I'm in hardship, and I call my brother Ayariga and say, "Oh, Ayariga, tell him,
No, call the people the rice. They have the rice. Call Bobby. He has the rice. Call the people the rice.
This is the propaganda they bring along.
I don't have rice. So
It's for the rice. It's not. So you cannot.
I will go back for the rice. No, we can't beg for the rice.
You don't need to be a politician. Allow.
Johnny, you should tell him to go to the market to buy the rice. They are selling rice at the market and not at the Flagstaff house.
The 15 containers are still intact.
You should go to the market to buy rice.
you don't need to be
Containers of rice.
you don't need to be.
Nobody's buying your propaganda.
You know, if the other is just around the
Nobody's
corner.
buying your propaganda.
No, if
Nobody's
the
buying
other
the
is
propaganda.
just
It's okay. Let's be fair to Ramzi. Let's be fair to
Ramzi's
Ramzi.
buying the propaganda of the
Let's be fair to Ramzi.
You see, you don't need to be a politician to show kind gestures to people. So if you've heard that Honorable Alan Kojo Tramantin has shown kind gestures to people, ordinary people that have approached him for help, it doesn't mean that he's buying their conscience.
I hear you.
You understand? And look at his record in public service, Johnny. And compare to Mahama and that of Alhaji Baumia. You can't compare both. And that's why I kept on saying that. It's like comparing a bicycle to a motorbike. In terms of corruption, none of these candidates stand the chance to extricate themselves from any corrupt activity in governance.
Okay.
As compared to that of Honorable Alan Kojo Tramantin.
Ayaga, you had some rebuttals quickly.
But I don't think it's fair because if you rebut, I'll also come in.
Okay. So I'll give each of you 2 minutes
No problem.
to do your rebuttals, and then we'll switch the topic. So it's 23 now. Ayaga, 2 minutes.
Yes, Johnny, I mean, I find it sometimes laughable when I hear my own brother, try to extricate themselves from the current mess of the MPP or even the MPP party themselves. And I keep telling you that your so-called Afafranto, you're just an offshoot of the MPP. You just realize that you were treated badly in the party, and for that matter, you want to get out of the party. One of the key people who, for the sake of, or for the reasons of opulence and public display of sharing of money that has earned the name Alan Cash in this country, is Alan Kojo Tramantin. We all saw what happened on Legon campus when Afoko was doling out dollars in public. He was actually attacked publicly. The news items are there. So for you to now want to turn around and come and play the ostrich and say people were sharing money, as if sharing of money just started with Akufo-Addo and Baumia. No, it started way back with you, Alan, and Akufo-Addo when you were in your own race. When you earned the popular name Alan Cash, and the response was what? Cash for the boys, cash for the people. At the time, and your own party people were attacking you, and you come and sit here and all of a sudden want to do a 360 U-turn like people who have taken rice and are denying that they have not taken rice. Now, the next thing I want to talk about, and I state it without equivocation, that what Professor Nana Jane Opoku Agyeman did in the education ministry for 4 years, those two gentlemen, Napo and Educhum, couldn't do and are still unable to do in 8 years. And that is a fact. That is a fact. My brother spoke a lot, and I thought he was going to say something substantial. He just went round here, round there. The only word I kept hearing was everything was a fallacy, everything was a fallacy, everything was a fallacy. And he hasn't even told us what they even have done or what they intend to do at any of the ministries. So it is a fact that the choice of Professor Nana Jane It's one that has inspired hope. It's one that has given so many women hope to believe that, yes, they too can make it.
Okay.
It's one that would inject some sanity, integrity, and above all, honesty.
Grateful.
Once again, to the office of the Vice President.
The Oxford English Dictionary describes the word fallacy as a mistaken belief, especially one based on unsound arguments. And the logic behind this is that there's a failure in reasoning which renders an argument invalid. And then also it means faulty reasoning, the potential for fallacy which lies behind the notion of self-esteem. That is the definition of fallacy. Yeah, Nabila. Now, your rebuttal in 2 minutes.
In fact, Ayariga just mentioned that I keep on hammering their running mate. In fact, you are here in Ghana. You know what the MPP government...
Go ahead. Go ahead.
He has proven to you the word. Maybe this is the first time you are hearing the word. You have read it. You can
Go ahead. Go ahead.
You can read it once again.
Your 2 minutes is going.
You see,
your 2 minutes is going.
Johnny.
Allow.
Johnny,
Your 2 minutes is going.
Johnny.
Focus on me. His mic is off. Focus on me. Focus on me. You have 2 minutes.
Okay.
Focus on me.
Johnny, look, when it comes to education, the NDC progressive education and the MPP free education, which one will you choose? Which one will you choose? Ayariga and myself paid to go to secondary school, including you.
3FM 92.
Right? Today, possibly your child or a younger brother or sister might have benefited from the free senior high school.
They went to private schools, which are not included.
Perfecto. If they went to private schools, there are others who benefited. You cannot rule your entire family that they all went to private schools.
Well, people have benefited.
People have benefited, including your relatives, including his relatives, possibly his direct brother or sister. It is an initiative of the MPP government, not NDC.
Funded by the state.
Yes, true, I agree. But it took a visionary leader like Nana Dodonko Akufo-Addo to implement the free senior high school. He didn't do it for himself. He didn't do it for his family.
Okay.
Neither he did it for only MPP. So, Johnny, we are telling you that Professor Jinana, we know her. We know who she is. And the value is the same.
Okay. 2 minutes up.
The value is the same because we saw their performances in the last elections. She and His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. And I'm telling you that Ghanaians know NDC more than us.
Okay.
And they will not vote for them to come back. NDC is the problem of Ghana. And nobody will make a mistake by voting NDC back to power.
Nabila, were you with the CPP?
Yes, sure.
You were CPP National Youth Organizer.
Yes, sure.
How did you cross to join the MPP?
I didn't cross. I resigned and
You
joined
left?
FTP.
Why?
I resigned.
Why did you leave? Because somebody just sent it to me, one of our listeners. He said, but this might be CPP, man, we know him.
Oh, then
So your campaign flyer says you are the grassroots engineer, you are the youth's favorite, the youth party favorite, true Nkrumah's constituency empowerment, power to the youth, advertising titan, strategic thinker. Yes, this is the flyer.
And now he's the what? He's the regional.
But Johnny, you are seeing this for the first time.
I am saying.
Ayariga, you are.
No, I'm just asking, sir. He was the national youth organizer for CPP.
Yeah.
And now he's the regional
Youth something.
director of operations.
Yeah, for the
Northern Region.
Yes.
MPP. Oh, okay. I just wanted whether it was a promotion or a demotion, but it's okay.
Oh, are you too high?
Oh no. He can do his analysis. Johnny, look, he can do his analysis.
I'm interested in why you left the CPP to join the MPP, though.
Why I left the CPP to join the NPP? I resigned from the CPP and joined the NPP. I didn't cross carpet.
Okay.
I resigned.
But why did you resign?
It took time before I joined the NPP.
Why did you resign? Because the MPP doesn't play by the Nkrumahs, so you are no longer an Nkrumahs.
I need not tell you
Oh no,
I need not tell you, Johnny.
it's obvious.
If I resign from the CPP,
it's res ipsa.
If I resign from the CPP and join NDC and MPP, you need not to ask me any further question.
So you
should know yourself.
You have ditched Nkrumah.
Oh, Johnny.
Yes.
You should know yourself.
Nabila.
Ghana's problem.
So you should know yourself.
Those who are living in
You understand? You should know yourself.
I see.
So that is not the issue here to discuss.
Okay. No, I guess somebody just sent it.
Somebody
to me.
sent it.
That's
No
why
problem.
I'm asking you.
No problem. I accept it. I even contested as a member of parliament for CPP in 2020 elections in Kumungu constituency. And after the elections, I resigned and joined the MPP. So what's wrong with that?
Okay.
There are people who resign from the NDC and join the MPP. There are people in MPP who resign and join NDC. It's personal interest.
Okay.
So you cannot question me why.
So yours
I
is
resigned
personal
here.
interest.
It's personal.
Okay.
Mine is personal. You understand? So the point here, the discussion here is Ayariga cannot question.
No, you're finished. I wanted clarity. I wanted clarification.
You
won't take 5 minutes. It took 2 minutes. I just asked the question about this one.
You could have allowed me to finish.
No, you finished your point.
No. You
finished.
allowed me to finish.
It was 20.
With the question.
Please, it was 29.
Your
It is
question is
32.
deliberate.
It was 29. It's now 32.
No, Johnny, you should have allowed me to finish the discussion.
When I asked
then you come in with the question for me to answer.
When I asked
but
you,
you took my time.
I didn't take your time. When I asked you that question was 29. You started at 26. It was 29. It is 32.
Johnny, why are you doing this?
I've done this work for almost 2 decades.
Let me.
No, please. Ramzi, Ramzi, take your rebuttal quickly.
Yes,
2 minutes. It's 32. So 34.
My presentation.
You finished.
You come in with your question.
You finished.
You understand?
You
Because
finished.
that question is never part of the discussion.
You started at 26. You ended at 29. I even gave you 1 minute extra. And then I asked you. It's 32.
You don't want me to expose the NDC.
No. You had 2 minutes. That's why I
you
kept.
should have allowed me to do that.
Please, come on. Please, stop organizing pity party. It will not help you.
Johnny, no, I'm not happy.
Go ahead.
I'm not happy.
Go ahead.
Johnny,
When you started and you were engaging Ayariga, I told you it's in your 2 minutes. Alai? Ramzi Alai?
yes.
No, what
I
I'm
told you.
saying,
I told you.
After
You spent your 2 minutes, half of your 2 minutes arguing. I even gave you 1 minute.
The argument I'm making here, you could have allowed us to finish then come in with the question.
No, I'm saying that when you started, you were engaging Ayariga.
Honestly, Johnny.
And I told you, no,
I'm
I'm used to this. Oh, your party people, I'm used to this. I'm used to this.
Johnny.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Stephen Amo has done it. Nana Damo has done it. I'm used to it.
You need not make comparisons.
I'm used to it. Please go ahead.
You should have allowed me to
Make
finish.
progress. Make progress.
It's never part of the discussion.
I said you started at 26, ended at 29.
Okay, can I make my
Go
point,
ahead, please.
Johnny, I'll take you down.
You are starting at 33 now, so
problem.
35.
No,
Great.
I'll take you down to memory lane.
Yes, boss. Too.
My brother sits here and makes some very, very, very appalling statements that Honorable Alan Kojo Tramantin is part of the mess, number one. Because he was an MPP member then and was part of the government. Johnny, did you support the Black Stars in the just ended AFCON?
I had no choice.
Okay. By virtue of you being a Ghanaian, right?
That's correct.
Would you agree with me that the Black Stars performed abysmally? Would you agree?
Yes, I didn't like the performance.
Great. Can we also say that by virtue of their abysmal performance, Mohamed Kudus also performed abysmally if we take him out as a single player? Would you say that Mohamed Kudus performed abysmally? Let's be honest here.
It's a team.
No, but at the end of the day, we have individual performance.
It's a team.
It's a team. But if you have one player, right, performing very well, he can be able to leapfrog the entire performance of the team. And we've seen that in football over the years with Messi and Ronaldo. So I'm asking you this honest
So what's your
question.
point?
No, I'm asking you a question, John.
So what's your point?
Johnny, do you... Please.
Allow him, please. Go ahead, Ramzi. Go ahead.
When you keep
Go ahead. Don't waste your time on him. Yes.
Would you agree with me that Kudus performed very well? Would you agree with me? No, you're not answering my question.
No, I'm not here to answer all your questions.
Okay. So I can say that if you look at his performance in the MPP government, right, you cannot associate him to the mess. Look, under the NDC, led by John Dramani Mahama, they borrowed $32 million from the Indian Exim Bank to build a sugar factory in commender.
That's right.
When they commissioned this factory, within 2 months, they wanted to offset government shares in it, about 70%. Right? They failed. Listen, the actual value of that factory was what? $16.9 million. There was an audit by PwC that revealed that the actual value of the sugar factory was $16.9 million. And your candidate supervised this. They launched the sugar factory right before elections to gain votes from voters. Lied to them. And let me tell you the nitty-gritty of this issue. You see, there's a strain of sugar that grows up north, right? And the machines that they use in building the factory was fit for that kind of species of sugarcane from the north, right? They failed to finance farmers to grow. How do you build a factory before growing sugarcane? It doesn't make sense.
But you have promised, until recently, until Alan left the NPP, you had promised us 3 times already that the Commander Sugar Factory was going to be up and running. They
did a test run. But Johnny, look, you have a factory that cost $32 million. They used $32 million. They claim they used $32 million to build a factory. But upon forensic auditing, it came up to 16.9, and so getting a private partner to come and purchase this factory and run it, I mean, it was a challenge.
Thank you.
And let me continue, John.
Your time is up.
He interjected me.
Your time is up. He didn't interject you. Your time is up.
When you look at his achievements, look at the automotive policy.
I'm sorry.
As
Just
well.
to be fair to everybody, I'm sorry about that. Let's switch the topics. The SML deal. Yesterday, the president finally gave some directives on the SML deal. Nabila, let me start with you. Why are we still holding on to SML if 2 out of the 3 things that they were supposed to do is not up and running? And really, the president also reading the report of KPMG said that we didn't do that proper technical assessment before we give them the contract. Why are we still holding on to SML?
Johnny, I think the call for the president, the call on KPMG by the president to audit the contract, to me, is in the right direction.
It was triggered by the Fourth Estate report.
It was triggered by the Fourth Estate. I think I'll have to commend Fourth Estate.
Manasseh Azuri and Suleiman Ibrahim and the team.
The Fourth Estate is there to hold the state accountable and any other person accountable, and that is governance. We must do things that satisfy us, and that is to the benefit and interest of all Ghanaians and the nation. So I would say the expose by the Fourth Estate was good because it drew the attention of the president about certain things that is not going well. Sometimes we have to admit that things are not going the right way or things are not being done right. So the president called on the KPMG to do the auditing, and I think they submitted the report to the president, and the president acted on the report by calling on the SML and finance, GRA and finance ministry to stop the contract between Ghana and then SML. I think it's a call in the right direction because whatever that we should do, we have to look at the interest that is benefiting the ordinary Ghanaian. At a point, if we think that things are not going right, Johnny, we have to admit and accept and say, oh, thank you, you've done well.
Where from this love for this, what do you call, revenue assurance gigs? Kelny GVG here, crawl there, this there, that there, SML now. Where from it?
Johnny,
can't we empower GRA, for example, to do that work?
Yes, I think this will give a guidance to the way forward. Because if something was happening at the backside of you and your attention has been drawn and now you are at the forefront of it, you try to look for the best way to go. So I'm not ruling it out, and I think it's something that the president is going to look at.
Okay.
Because we need to empower the Ghana Revenue Authority to do the work. Because if you look at the prices, the fixed the president want a fixed price. He spoke about the fixed price and the variable prices they were talking about. So I think, in my opinion, we want the best for Ghana.
Okay.
And I think the president has done the right thing. So done the right thing for us to benefit from whatever that.
I hear you. Let's go on to the phone line and speak with gentlemen. Excuse me, please. Yusuf Osman is the chairman of the Ashanti East ECG Senior Staff Association. They are in red bands as we speak this morning. They started yesterday, and it's in protest of how the Ashanti Regional Minister Simon Osei-Mensah treated one engineer, Yafe, who is supposed to have gone together with a task force from Accra to disconnect a university, and who owed about 600,000 Ghana cedis. The Ashanti Regional Minister, I'm told, threatened to show him something small, and in fact he is. At this point, he's being investigated, but the senior staff say, well, it is not fair to the gentleman. Good morning, sir. Thank you for your time.
Good morning, Johnny. I hope you are fine.
Well, I could be better, except that if ECG staff are preparing to go on strike, they are wearing red bands and they are asking for apologies not coming, then I shouldn't be happy. Have you heard from the minister?
Not yet, Johnny.
What are your demands of the minister?
Yeah, we've been told this morning you'll be holding a press conference. So we are calmly monitoring the situation.
But then, what are your immediate demands of the minister? You're asking for an apology, and then what?
Yes, we want him to, first of all, understand that ECG, we don't take instructions from him. According to one of his statements, he said he ordered for the arrest of our general manager because he has told them whenever they want to disconnect any institution, he should be informed. And we think that we cannot go by that. We don't take instructions from him. Number two, we want him to withdraw the case from the police station, and then finally he should apologize to the general manager and the entire ECG fraternity and all Ghanaians.
And you say up until now you have not had any indication from him whether he will do it or not.
The indication we had was that he's having a press conference this morning. So until the press conference is over, then we know what you want to say, whether you want to address our issue or any other issue.
If he doesn't apologize, you are wearing red now, what will be the next step?
Well, we have a series of actions to be taken, but we hope that you'll be a gentleman since what he did was unnecessary and needless. We hope that he will apologize, then we move on as one people.
Now, you tell me, is this the first time the minister is behaving in this manner?
Well, with UCG, I don't recollect anything like this before.
How has this affected the morale of the staff of ECG? And I know that you're not doing this alone. Your folks in the central region and many other places are also doing a similar thing. How is this affecting the morale of the staff?
It is very demoralizing, very demoralizing. But in the other way around, it has rather emboldened us. We've encouraged our staff to go all out and collect everything any institution or individual is owing.
I see. Well, I want to thank you indeed for your time, Yusuf Osman, and I pray that the minister does the right thing so that you take the red off. The red is quite imposing, if you ask me.
Johnny, thank you. We also hope so that we can move as a people.
I see. Are you continuing with the disconnection exercise? Or have you paused because the minister got one of your staff
Johnny,
to the police? Yes.
Every Ghanaian should disregard what the minister did and what this cannot deter us from going to disconnect. Even he himself, if he's owing, he should be ready for us. If he's not owing, fine, that's good. But if he's owing, we are coming for our money.
You mean you will go to the regional coordinating council office? If he's owing, you disconnect him?
If it is his private residence and he's owing, we will go for our money.
Hey, boss, you go and disconnect the minister's power.
He should pay. He should be advocating for people to pay their electricity bills.
92.7.
I see. Now, you have also put the red band on your gates at the people will be scared though.
But if you interact with our customers, they were served very professionally across the country yesterday. We are only indicating to the regional minister because we gave him a deadline. He didn't comply. That is why we hoist the red flag as first step of our action.
Osman Ayariga, I thank you very much for your time. He's the chairman of the Ashanti East ECG Senior Staff Association. Castro Senyola is joining us. He's our correspondent. Castro, good morning.
Yes, good morning, Johnny.
Now, this is what the chairman of the ECG Senior Staff Association has said. What do you know from on the ground?
Right, so concerning the issues of ECG...
No. Let's talk about Boku first, and we can talk about ECG.
Right.
Because those are weightier matters from the Boku area. Yesterday, the police, the prisons officers and the military faced off. Some persons were hurt. The police had to intervene. What is the situation this morning?
Right, Johnny, this morning everywhere in Boku is calm. The premises of, the scenes of the disturbances yesterday are all calm, from the Boku Naba Palace to the Boku Central Prisons area. Everywhere is fine. I've just been able to lay my hands on some live videos, and it shows that the prison service is back to its business of ensuring that the prisoners are well taken care of, and also helping to protect the citizenry of Boku. I understand that the regional commander of the prison service, in the person of Assistant Director of Operations, Ibrahim Yakubu, I beg your pardon, is in Boku at the moment to engage, firstly, with his men in Boku, and secondly, sit with the sister security agency, that is the military, to find lasting solutions and, to weed out these grudges within the personnel, and also see how best they can foster unity as security agencies who are helping to restore and build the growing peace within the Boku area.
There's a prison officer who made an audio file insisting that this is not the first time it's happening, and because of this attitude, that's why there's no peace in Boku. That's a serious comment coming from a sister security personnel who thinks that they are being treated unfairly by, high-handed military officers. Between yesterday and this morning, I know that somebody was taken to the hospital, but what exactly happened during the night, do you know?
Not much has been said about it right after the incident happened yesterday. It appears the two agencies have been embarrassed by the incident, and so are doing everything within means to ensure that the issue does not go out that much beyond what happened yesterday. But like the officer of the prison services said in the audio, it appears that there's been an existing grudge between them. From what I have gathered from residents, in my engagement with residents, it appeared that there has been an altercation of some sort between some officers of the prison service and the military in Boku some time ago. It appears that grudge is still, within them, and it's probably one of the reasons why the officer was heard saying that in the video. And back to, the question of whether something happened yesterday night.
Right.
I can report based on interactions this morning, and in fact, the engagement with some authorities with the prison service, that nothing really happened yesterday.
Well, the prison officers were threatening to let the prisoners off the hook yesterday, and you could see it in that video. They had opened the door, actually, the gates, and said the prisoners should go. Did they follow through with their threat?
Not at all. That those statements were made in the heat of the anger. Because if you look at the videos, examine them critically, and also from information I've gathered, both from sources within the security agencies themselves, the prison service personnel felt very bad about the move by the military to have come to them at their space and try to, sort of shot at them and even attack them.
Our understanding, Castro, our understanding from here is that there were two gentlemen who had run to the prisons for refuge because they were being pursued by the soldiers. And that's what brought this whole fracas. Are you able to confirm that for us?
No, I can't confirm that. I can't confirm that at all. What I can confirm is that there's an issue of a missing phone in an earlier application, like the officer rightly said. All is well between the personnel of the two security agencies, the military and the prison service. So there was an earlier application in which a phone got missing. So from very reliable sources, when Basiru Naba was, sort of inaugurating the celebration of his 40 years on the scheme, the prisons and that of the military were all there providing security. It appears that two officers of the armed forces, we understand, spotted a prison officer who was part of the early altercation in which the phone got missing. And so when they saw him, they approached him to ask about the missing phone, and that is what degenerated into the first attack at the Basiru Naba Palace. Now, after that attack happened, the prison service got wind of how one of their own was beaten mercilessly and had to rush the Vineyard Hospital. And so they also retaliated by attacking some members of the armed forces, personnel of the armed forces who are usually stationed at the Basiru Naba Palace for security. And that is what degenerated into all these attacks. The military had to now move to the Basiru Central Prison. Johnny, this is what I can confirm. I've also heard that second narration, but I have been making calls to confirm that, but it appears none of the sources I have been in touch with since the issue broke out, know anything about that.
I hear you. Castro, Senyola, we're grateful for your time. He's our Upper East regional correspondent bringing us some news there. Gentlemen, this is the matter that has come before. We're discussing SML, but now I think the tune has changed. So we have just about 6 minutes and we have to check out of the studio. What do we do with the time?
We'll try and manage it.
2 minutes.
3. I think my brother has spoken, so we'll just divide it between
3.
No, but he has not spoken about Basiru, so let's be fair to him.
Well, Ramzi, why so? Why did you say you have to? No.
All this, you are taking time.
Okay,
so
let's go.
So,
make your comment.
Yeah, Johnny, so the SML deal, Johnny, unfortunately, we're in this country where President Akufo-Addo tweeted that the era of soul sourcing
will be a thing of the past. Yes.
Do you remember?
I remember that.
Today, the MPP government has issued contracts via soul sourcing of a tune of over 1,127 contracts. 1,127 contracts. Secondly, we have the Public Procurement Authority established by law. Right? The PPA failed to scrutinize this deal. Right? Look, Johnny, we have ICOMS, which was one of the projects of Honorable Alan Kojo Trematin, which saved Ghana a lot of money and brought in a lot of revenue from the ports. Where in 2019 we were making about 12 billion, we were getting about 12 billion cedis from the ports, and by virtue of ICOMS, it shoot up to 16 billion, right? If you look at this ICOMS platform carefully, and I must say that I have some background in tech.
Must go make progress.
Right.
We don't have time.
No problem. If you look at the ICOMS deal, Johnny, $0.75 would be earned as a result of our minerals exports, right? 0.755% of our total mineral exports would be given to ICOMS.
So the bottom line is what? We're measuring that against.
That's what I'm saying. That 0.75 per barrel of oil exported or petroleum products exported will be given to ICOMS.
Right.
This is a scam to the Ghanaian public purse. It is a total scam. How did they even get into this business in the first place with ICOMS? They have no background in IT. The owner of ICOMS, the largest shareholder, which is what do you call it? One merchant timber or timber merchant, has no background in IT.
So the bottom line you're saying is that it was wrong and that we shouldn't have gone into it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And for the presidency to come and tell us that, oh, we made mistakes. I mean, the presidency is not a trial and fail platform. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
And Johnny, I think you are rushing.
No,
me.
yeah, because we don't have time. I told you that already, but it looks like you want to say everything you brought here.
And let me also make the statement that you realize that the ICOM system has a price verification system,
3FM,
which
92.7.
SML also brought on the table. But the GRA is not using that.
Okay.
So it is making the investment of that platform redundant.
Okay.
Secondly, the MPA signed a contract with Rock Africa Nationwide Technologies to fight adulteration, fraud, and then under declaration of for at the pumps, right? You realize that the SML is also doing the same thing with the downstream petroleum industry, which has a conflicting.
So if I get you say there's duplicity. We didn't go through. Okay, I get you.
Absolutely.
I get you. So it was a wrong thing to have done. Osman, quickly, step in for me. Our time is almost done.
Johnny, I would have loved to do so much justice to this SML.
I apologize that
I
you
think
couldn't.
that you rushed me, but anyway, I will have more time.
This
You
is
had
the
3 minutes,
mother
it's okay.
of all corruption. I can tell you in all sincerity that SML.
But why
is
do
the
people do that? Mother serpent of all corruption. Mother of what's
all
that?
corruption. It is the elephant of all corrupt activities under the MPP. Contracts doled out without even going to PPA for approval, without going to Parliament for approval. That's I tell you, for the SMI, I would have loved to use not less than 20 minutes to deal with the corruption.
I'm sure I'll invite you gentlemen again so we can have this.
So far as the SML is concerned, but I can tell you in all honesty that it is the mother of all corrupt activities in the history of this country. And Nanado has done well by being able to handle it. He also been the mother serpent of all corruption. And I want to speak about Bok because that's where I come from.
Where you come from.
So I just want to say a few things. I think it's rather unfortunate with the current happenings. I think the agencies or the services that are there to ensure peace and harmony that are supposed to protect human lives and property are rather clashing. And I don't want to go into the details because I've not been finished with the entire story.
Right.
Because I've been receiving calls since last night to this morning. You hear different sides of the story, but not until you hear from all the appropriate corteses. I haven't heard from the military command there yet to know what actually happened. But be as it may, no matter what happens, I don't think the videos and the pictures we are seeing out there is the best of
Not at all.
things to happen.
Not at all.
It to look as though two security agencies are clashing amongst themselves. Then what should the citizens now do?
Especially given the temperature in
given
Boko.
the temperature of the town, and we all know how Boko is like. So I least expect to hear that the military has a clash with prison officers, and next maybe you hear police has a clash. No, it should not be happening. It should not be happening. It's rather unfortunate. The Ghana military, the Ghana armed forces should take charge and let us know what is really happening.
Nabila.
Johnny, honestly, I will support what Ayariga said, irrespective. Human life is important.
Right.
I am also from the north, even though I'm not from Boku. But I kept on saying it's time our people reason enough with what is happening in Boku.
Right.
I think what happens yesterday is not good at all because the security is there to protect the people and prevail peace. Right. So if it turns out that the security themselves are fighting, honestly speaking,
what are the citizens to do?
What are the citizens to do? Honestly speaking, this issue is mind-boggling. I beg you. I am begging them that, in fact, especially the case, our mothers and the old men within the town.
Okay.
I'm pleading with them. It's time they resolve the issue amicably because we want peace to prevail.
Grateful.
Without peace, we can't do anything.
Dr. Ramzi, you have the final word. Dr. Ramzi, you have the final word. Go ahead. Don't mind them. Their mics are off. Go ahead.
So
Don't mind them. Go ahead.
Johnny, please, my brother, let me speak respectfully. We hope that and we pray that peace will prevail in Boku. For so long, the good people of Boku have been plagued with ethnocentric violence, right? And it's sad that today, the state security apparatus that is is supposed to ensure security
and safety
and safety of the people are also fighting. I hope that they uphold to their professional code of conduct in delivering their services to the good people of Boku.
Right.
And I'll plead with the chiefs and the kinsmen and the leaders in Boku to ensure that peace prevails in Boku. Because without peace, they cannot enjoy absolute economic and development. What do you call it? Progress.
Shout out from
and also,
lastly, what again?
We hope and pray that the people of Boku, come December 7th, will also uphold.
It's okay. This is not part of it. Thank you very much indeed. Dr. Ramzi Inusah of Afrafranto, Osman Ayariga of the NDC, and Nabila Basiru of the NPP. Thank you, gentlemen, for your time. We're grateful. We have to go and make way for news. It will be good to have you back again. My name is Johnny Hughes. Thank you very much on behalf of the rest of the team. We're grateful. Have a good morning.